Hey, I'm here. So if you can, hopefully, I haven't got the sound on. Okay, let me turn my sound there. My sound's off, so that okay. Just wait for a few more. So hopefully, if we just wait for a few more people to join, sound, hopefully everything will work. Okay. Yeah. Hey everyone. Okay, so we've had a really nice bounce in Bitcoin from our bat pattern reversal area after this really nice base that we made at the end of September, beginning of October. We've basically got our pullback and retest. Market does look pretty healthy, but in terms of daily moving averages, we're still in a downtrend. We're, underneath our 20 moving average, which is underneath our 200 moving average, and our 50 moving average is pointing down. So we have a lot of work to do for this not to just be a bear flag, if you know what I mean. So if we take a look on a 4-hour here at what we've got going on, it is possible that this is just a big ABC correction, and then even this one we can look at and say ABC with, because it was an equal measured move, even though, and so it may be, if this is still bearish, we'll just see an ABC correction here. And if we do, where will it take us to? Where are our resistances? Okay. Well, if we just go to the 61.8, I'm going to put that on. That takes us to 8,500, which is okay. If we put our fibs on, though, from the low to the high here, and we say, what are our bat pattern targets? So we'll take that off. So when you do a bat pattern reversal, here from the 886 down here, I'm just going to make sure I've lined it up properly. There's our 886. Our first target is the 50% back, remember? And the second target is always the 236 fib. And see how that lines up, 8,500, 8,530. So that gives us now our likely first, because of this confluence, and also if we look at our 4-hour moving averages, we're above the 50. So we are looking to this 200. So now that gives us our first confluence area and our first level that we're looking at on this rally in Bitcoin, 8,500 to kind of 8,530. New Age is looking at the weekly 100 moving average holding nicely. Well done. I should put the 100 on more often. So yeah, the weekly's looking impressive. So that's where we're looking at. First target then is 8,500. And I think if we top out here, it could be that we're doing some kind of wedge. If we don't, and if we make a new high, our second target is going to be the equal measured move, which here, if we measure it at Binance, is going to take us to 8,916. That's where we've got a big ABC, and that's going to be where we're going to stop if it's the 200 moving average. So 8,900 becomes our second target. And somewhere around there, I think that we could end up retesting this trend line from the high. See, we've got one touch here and the second touch in August. So that's going to be our major resistance. But I know this, I still keep going but. So those are our two levels then, 8,530, 8,900. But really, we should now move our 236 fib down from this, the big high to low, and look at the resistance that all lines up there if we make the final third target for Bitcoin. Let's move this on the right so that we can see the values. Okay, 10,100. So that's back to 10,000. If we get back to 10,000, we're back at the daily 50 moving average. We're back at these prior lows and this trend line. So that's massive resistance. And I think a 10,000 retest would be quite something. Does that mean that we're out of the woods and bottomed. I'm going to say only if we get above 10,100 and we hold above it. So those are the levels that we are looking at tonight on this rally in Bitcoin. And to be honest, we could just get to this 10,000 level and it still would look like a bit of a bear flag until we break out above that. We really need to get above all of these daily moving averages. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. And, you know, we could still have a date with this major support area if we can't get above that. But is it looking really good? Yeah, it is looking, you know, pretty well bouncy. And this is what bat patterns are supposed to do. They're supposed to move fast and everybody's supposed to go, oh heck, I missed that, and chase it a little bit. So here on the hourly, looking pretty amazing. So we go from high. Where is our support? If you're not in Bitcoin and you're looking for pullbacks, well, if we stop here at this 38.2 fib, we could potentially come all the way back to 8,040. But I think this is quite a squeezy move. We shouldn't do that really. What I expect to do is we might pause here, but I do think we'll continue to the 50% level, or 8297, 8,300, before we see a pullback that we can buy. So that's how I'm seeing Bitcoin tonight. Pretty squeezy. And all of the coins that were tracking Bitcoin are doing the same thing. So Ethereum, which was tracking Bitcoin, is doing the same thing. If we look at this as a declining wedge, we've only got 2 touches and the third touch didn't confirm here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clone this and I'm going to project this from up here. And I'm going to say this is probably our likely target for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. So Ethereum's got above the 236 fib here, as you can see. So we'll have the 38.2 fib for our next target in Ethereum, and then 50% of this drop on the hourly here, 183, will be the third target for Ethereum. So that's how I'm seeing Ethereum tonight. Now, I'm just going through the list because I need to. I apologize because I had a list of things to go through, and of course we haven't got it on our title, and I just need to write it down so I don't miss any of the requests that you asked for, because we are going to look at the Bitcoin caches next. Okay, come on, here we go. Oops, no, that's not it. Okay, let me go and find our old my old broadcast. Here we go. Okay, so F. So BCH is the next one we're going to look at. This is the Bitcoin. This is all the coins that are tracking Bitcoin moving higher against the US dollar. Bitcoin Cash US dollar is another one. This one, I think that we, yeah, I mean, it's doing what Bitcoin is doing. Would you rather be in Bitcoin Cash ABC than Bitcoin? You really have to look at that chart against Bitcoin. And you know what? This is a really good base down here. And it looks like, let's pop our regular candles on. If we can close above this 20 moving average, then maybe in Bitcoin Cash ABC after this double bottom you would. But really on a low time frame, we need to look at this as a sideways range and say, if we break out of this sideways range in Bitcoin Cash ABC, then yeah, you may as well be, at the moment we haven't, then you may as well be in Bitcoin Cash ABC as Bitcoin, because it's going to be outperforming. So it's not a slam dunk case, is it, that is outperforming at the moment. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash SV. This is against Tether, is outperforming. Now, just like Bitcoin, when you reverse at an 886 fib, your confirmation that you've done your reversal is when you break above the 786 fib that you dropped underneath. So that's what we've done just here in Bitcoin Cash SV. Not only that, but we've just broken above the 4-hour 200 moving average, which is a bit of an alt killer. Look how all the way down in Bitcoin Cash SV, this was resistance, and now we've just broken above it. This is really good news if you haven't got any of this coin as well, because if we close above it and hold above it, you can buy pullbacks to this level at 93.93. So that's Bitcoin Cash SV. Our trade has triggered we're looking for a move from the 786 fib to the 50%, just like Bitcoin. So our target is 153. We're going to expect some resistance, maybe at 129, but that's how Bitcoin Cash SV against Tether should unfold. And again, just like the others, you want to make sure that it's outperforming Bitcoin, or you may as well just be in Bitcoin. And you can see that in this one, unlike Bitcoin Cash ABC, we are outperforming Bitcoin. So, and a good one to be. And in fact, in Bitcoin Cash SV, Bitcoin, we've got that same 886 reversal. I've got to switch this off, sorry. 886 reversal going on. Okay, so our resistance is going to be the 786 fib level, which is at 1,224,700. And above there, our target is going to be 1,880,000. So looking good for Bitcoin Cash SV. It's outperforming Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash US SV US dollar. Okay, so then the next one we were going to look at BCH8. So we're going to look at ADA because there are some nice looking setups here. This is ADA Tether. Inverted head and shoulders pattern back at this neckline. This is a 4-hour setup. Here's our regular candles. We need to break out of this sideways range in ADA. Let's take a look at it on an hourly as well, because at the moment, you know, we haven't quite got the breakout we were looking for, but it is a really nice pattern if it triggers and above the hourly 200 moving average. Just like all of the other coins, make sure that it's worth your while being in a higher risk alt, and this one isn't, because this is going the opposite way. So in ADA, although it looks like a pretty nice pattern, ADA Tether, it's not yet turning up again against Bitcoin. Now, this might be just a little ABC correction in ADA, and it may be that once Bitcoin quietens down a bit, we turn higher from here. If you look at this, this is a double bottom at a 61.8 level. So let's see what happens when we retest 474 in ADA Bitcoin, because we could make that same pattern here, but unless we do, ADA, although it looks good against Tether, is not a great bet at the moment. Okay, we've done BCHSV. Let's take a look at Litecoin, because that's another one that looks like it's massively outperforming Bitcoin and approaching really important resistance if we're going to retest the trend. Remember, this was an 886 reversal. You know, we talk about when you reverse it in 886, your target is the 50%. That worked perfectly here in Litecoin US dollar. And so if we break it, our next leg should be to the 236 fib. That's the kind of pattern rules up here at 52.91. So looking amazing today in Litecoin US dollar. Key though is going to be if we break above 55.35, right? But key is going to be, do we look better than Bitcoin? Not so much. So you won't lose money if you're in Litecoin. But right now, unless we break out of this wedge consolidation in Litecoin Bitcoin, you may as well have Bitcoin. This is our sideways. Now, I mean, I hope this one as well turns into a big inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we can break above this for our resistance here. But again, Litecoin looks really tempting, but you're better off in Bitcoin. So it's up to you. You're not going to lose money, but you may as well. So now there's a lot of people on the stream tonight who are not in my group, and I just want to say hi. This is what we do in my group every day, twice a day, and we're here on live on YouTube tonight because Facebook videos are stalling. So welcome to the freebie, and yes, I like IOTA. Hi, Tony. So the next one that we're going to look at that was requested tonight, and we're looking at coins that look good, but we want to make sure that the higher risk of being in an alt is worth it and it's going to outperform Bitcoin. So here, for example, is BNB tether. What a beautiful setup. We got broke underneath this fib support and we're back above it. We're back above our 4-hour moving averages. I'm one of these people. I know a lot of people are looking to buy BNB, and we've made a very nice ABC correction. We've held the lows on a retest today. So for me, everything, look how we're just turning up and we're about to get a signal to buy BNB tether here. This is another one that looks really good. I am going to buy a little. But again, whenever I see a 4-hour setup, I do tend to go down sometimes and try and watch the 15-minute and make sure that it's all good and it's not just going to do a big fat reversal on me. At this point here, from this low, see how we're holding above this 236 fib from this low nicely? So far it all looks really good. And so the next 15-minute buy, I think it's a really nice long entry, or you could just buy the 4-hour and it would all work in BNB tether. Now we're going to go to the daily. So remember, if this is a 618 and we hold above it, our target is going to be back to this 50% level in the middle, 21.89, and then back to the daily 200 moving average at 26.08. The key thing here, when we're looking for this breakout, aren't we, from this above this 50. The key thing here, though, is going to make sure, are we going up against Bitcoin as well, or maybe just as well be in Bitcoin? And we're not right now. I say, though, that this to me looks like an uptrend. So it may just be a shallow pullback, in which case, if you're already holding some, you see, sometimes when Bitcoin gets going, it just rips the face off everything else. So we're going to say we're staying an uptrend in BNB against Bitcoin as long as we stay above 22,000. That's the previous swing low, and that's the 236 fib from the low. So if you're hodling this and swinging it, you know, below there, we could be looking at a much bigger correction. At this point, though, I think I would lighten up and wait and see for it if we're going to hold this level on a pullback and do a sideways range in BNB Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's setting up one of those moves where it's just going to run over everything else. So, Shay says ADA's getting used for New Balance trainers. I really like New Balance traders. They're really good. They're really good running shoes as well. So that is good news that it's being used for real world stuff, isn't it? Okay, so we're looking for 22,000 in BNB Bitcoin to hold. If you've got BNB US dollar, you're not going to lose money. We are just looking for that long to trigger, though. And yeah, this is one of those nights where all crypto is going to rally. So really, you're just going to look for the ones that are going to perform better, if you like. So the Daleks are helping me out with what to do next, which is really helpful. I'm just going to... Daleks, we need to add... To that list you've got, we need to add... Matic. We need to add Doge. And PHB. POA and PHB. Oh, we got them. Good. Okay. Doge you've got. Okay, so it's just Matic that we're missing. Okay, so we're going to do Ripple, ZRX, Metal. Okay, so Ripple. God, I'm so glad this stream is working. Lovely. In a very nice uptrend here. Ripple US dollar in a very nice uptrend. When this pulls back, look how we have been respecting these fib levels from this high to this low. Okay, the 236 was support, at 382 was resistance, 50% was support, 618 resistance, now support. So we're bouncing, climbing a staircase, if you like, with these fib levels here in Ripple US dollar. We've just bounced off this 61.8. So now we're going to look for these highs to break, and our next target is going to be 31.31424 in Ripple US dollar. So in an uptrend, what I really like about this is this lovely little ABC correction. So for me, this is a lovely pullback long entry, if you like, in 4-hour Ripple US dollar. A lovely 4-hour Ripple US dollar. Yes, Tony, will add it on at the end. The Daleks keep the list. Okay, so that's Ripple. Look for a breakout, a retest of the highs, next target 31,424. Again, is Ripple actually outperforming Bitcoin? That's going to be key in your decision making. Not exactly, but you know, if you've got some, hold some. And this, because this was this support level here, these previous highs where we stalled before, and the daily 20 moving average are where Ripple Bitcoin should come back to. So that's 3376. So Ripple is going up, but it's not going up as much as Bitcoin. So you can decide whether you want to hold it or whether you want to go into Bitcoin and then flip back into Ripple when we turn up again. But this is the daily, and the daily's rolled over. So it's up to you. I would say go to Bitcoin, and then when Bitcoin stalls, go back to Ripple again. Okay, next one we're going to look at is ZRX. What a lovely uptrend. This is ZRX Bitcoin, and it's getting whacked a little bit because of Bitcoin, and this is starting to look like a swing failure pattern, isn't it? Swing failure pattern is when you make a new high, but you can't close and hold it at a new high, and that potentially is bearish. So we've had our first swing of correction high, and we could see a second swing in this one. But ZRX Bitcoin is in an uptrend. This would just be a pullback. We're trading above the 200-day moving average. The 20 moving average has just pulled through the 200 moving average. This is a bullish setup. We should be looking to buy pullbacks in this one, and then us continue higher to the first target 236 fib and these previous lows at 6276. So short term, again, ZRX Bitcoin is getting hit. But if we look at ZRX US dollar or ZRX Tether, gosh, we're just double topping at a 786 fib. This is a little bit, this to me might make me take a little bit of profit here and watch out, because we've really, we've had one leg of correction and a bounce. If we can't make a new high, we could see another leg of correction. So watch out and take some profit in ZRX and wait and see. If you take profit here, and it's a great level to do it, and it gets back above this 786 fib level, just buy it back again. It's no big deal, but at the moment I think you should protect yourself because it's looking a little bit toppy. Okay, if we look at metal, let's just get my list of coins. Didn't know we were looking at that one, sorry. Metal. Now, metal for me, this is metal Bitcoin. This is a daily chart of metal Bitcoin. This was a really nasty ABC correction that got reversed at the 236 fib and failed at the 200 moving average. This says to me that we're still in a downtrend and at risk in metal of another leg lower, metal Bitcoin. So not a big buy for me here. If we look at it on the weekly, this is the downtrend continuing now. Well, if we're going to make a base here, we're going to look for the lows to be retested and hold, and then we could maybe look at another swing up. But yeah, if you're looking at this one thinking, should I buy it around here? I would say, let's see if that's going to hold. See, we just got underneath that 61.8. Whenever you think it's an ABC correction, you put your fibs on both swings. So we're going to do both swings here. And it was, was it an ABC? It went a little bit beyond, but I think it is, yes. So if we don't, and even if we put it just on this one, you know, we're losing really important levels. We've dropped underneath the 61.8. So, and we're underneath the 50 moving average. So still going lower in metal, Bitcoin. You are honestly better off in Bitcoin, even if metal US dollar is going up. I would not have this one at the moment. So yeah, does it look a little bouncy here against the US dollar? Yes, it does. Is it a good level for it to bounce from? Yes, it is. You're going to see, you know, with this move, you hopefully, let's look at total market cap. We should be seeing a rally across the board. Hold on. Here we go. Total market cap. Here we're seeing an across the board rally in all of the crypto space. So, but not all coins are equal. And so, yes, metal is probably going to go up from here, but not as much as other coins. So I would say pass on that one. Now TNT we talked about last night because TNT's hit major resistance, and so as we said last night, time to take some profit in TNT. Let's take a look. It's on the same page as metal. Okay, here is our TNT. Again, TNT, if we measure this sideways range from here, from this high to low, this is where we are at. When you have a sideways range, your target, and you break out of it, your target is always twice the distance of that range. So that's what we've done here. So we've hit our first target, 236 fib and 1,000, and we've got a little bit of a pullback going on. So far, this is not a bearish reversal. In terms of candlesticks, we are holding in the top half of this big green candlestick. So if I was a big swing trader in TNT, I'd still hold this for now. Also, if we measure from the low of this swing, we're nowhere near the 236 fib. If we measure from the lows down here, the 236 fib is back down at these lows. So still in an uptrend in TNT, but I would be careful and protecting my profits at this point, and I'd probably be waiting for this to see how we're just, yeah, nice double bottom here. So far so good, but if we lost these hourly moving averages, I would just get out and wait for the pullback. You can buy it back again on whatever time frame you're trading. That, you know, the 200 moving average on an hourly would be a good place to look for support. If you were trading this on a 4-hour, you know, and we lose the 20 moving average, you're going to look to the 50 next. It's all the same. So just don't let this come back too far. This would be the trend reversal level because this is the last swing higher. So back to the 50 moving average on the 4-hour. So TNT, protect your profits, I would say. I think Bitcoin is outperforming. Now, TNT US dollar, it's still in a pretty nice uptrend on the daily, isn't it? It's just a really slight pause. So it's up to you. You know, you're not giving back very much. It's getting beaten up by Bitcoin. Really strong, nice uptrend otherwise. So I'm just gonna want to see where the 236 fib from this big high to low comes in, because I don't think we're quite there in terms of the dollar. We're not. So yeah, I think we've got further to go in TNT US dollar to 0.11273. So good luck in that one. Here's the only other thing that might. This is why we might stop here in the US dollar, and this would be an ABC equal measured move correction in Tyrian tether at 0.844. So that's why we should be protecting our profits in this one. In both TNT Bitcoin and TNT US dollar tether, we've got a bit of a major resistance level. Now, if we can get above it, if we can see, for example, a daily close above 0.08565, then that would signal that we are on the way up again in TNT US dollar. Okay, next one we're going to look at is Sonam S&M. Hold on. Got a long list tonight, haven't we? So here's Sonam. Now, to be honest, at this point, this is against the US dollar, and S&M is really struggling against the US dollar, never mind against Bitcoin. Is it at a level where we keep finding buyers and bouncing? Yes, it is. It's this daily 200 moving average. See this blue moving average? We keep bouncing off it. We haven't broken it. If we did, or if we lose this trend line, then I think it's bye-bye. And a retest of the lows, if not new lows in S&M US dollar, so Sonam US dollar. It's not looking very healthy at the moment, and it's not doing anything that makes me want to buy it yet, except being back at a support level where it does keep finding support. Maybe this hasn't updated as usual. 1 second. Let's look at, yeah, there we go. It hasn't updated. So we do keep finding support at this level, but chart not updating. Great. Here we go. Now, if you wanted to buy some, put your toe in the water, look for the top of this third touch of this wedge consolidation would be where I'd be looking for first. You can see it more clearly on a 4-hour. It's got a lot of work to do though, hasn't it? The fact though that we've got a double bottom here and we've gone beyond this 236 fib resistance on this 4-hour today does say that S&M is on the way back up again to the top of this wedge. So yes, it is going to go up in US dollar terms, but if we take a look at it against Bitcoin, it's still underperforming. And if we go to the daily, we're just sideways in this, we are holding the bottom, but we're not outperforming Bitcoin yet. I don't really see it as a compelling, you won't lose money in it, but I don't see it as a compelling investment right yet. That's all I wanted to say. Most things, they're just getting beaten up by Bitcoin. When Bitcoin stops, or the big alts will start to rally, and then the smaller alts, and it'll spread out. But until then, that's where we're at now. Link, it's actually finding its feet against Bitcoin. So this is one that I like quite a lot. I do think today, let's take a look at the last few hours. We are holding our own against Bitcoin. So when you've got a chart like Link here where you're going sideways against Bitcoin, you're not losing money, you're flat, then if the value of Bitcoin is going up, then the value of Link is going up. So this says, yeah, I like this. This has been a lovely uptrend on the daily. We've got a bullish cross of our daily moving averages. We've got a little pause here while we go sideways, but to me this is bullish consolidation as long as we're holding above the 200 moving, the daily 20 moving average, sorry. So I think we've seen a really nice pullback. If we look at this on the 4-hour here, oops, if we look at this on the 4-hour, this was a very nice ABC correction lower here, and yeah, it wasn't quite a perfect measured move, but I'm looking for this to continue high. If we do go a little bit lower, if we do roll over this 50%, and the daily 20 moving average down here should catch us. So I like Link against Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Link against US dollar, because this also should be looking really good, and does look really good. Do I want to buy this here? Yeah, I think it looks lovely. If we look at the daily, I'm going to take this here. We've measured from this low to this high. Okay, going to put my 236 fib back in, because this is a perfect back test of the 236 fib. And so this time, yeah, I think, where are our targets going to be? 50% of this drop might be a little bit of trouble. A marginal new high at 3.02. But if I measure from this low like this, if this is the bottom, we should make, yeah, marginal new high and then 3.67 up here. So very nice level to buy a pullback long in Link back to this daily 20 moving average. It looks good against Bitcoin and it looks good against the dollar. Okay, just let's get out of this congestion and above this moving average and we'll be fine. So Link's all right. Lumen XLM, looks dreadful against Bitcoin, doesn't it? After this double top, and this is what I mean about a swing failure pattern, a false new high, and then a bearish reversal. So we've got a bit of a sideways zone. Our support, obviously, is this previous low next in Lumen. So Lumen Bitcoin is getting beaten up on the hourly. If we take a look at on the 4 hourly, we're breaking down pretty nasty. So double top swing failure pattern reversal in this one. I'm going to say, you know, if this low doesn't hold and you're swinging it, you may as well be in Bitcoin. If we measure from this low, see how this previous low lines up with the 236 fib level, which I haven't quite drawn correctly. Hold on, there I have now. So there, 760. As long as we stay above 760, we're still in an uptrend. If you're swinging stellar lumens or you're holding a bag underneath 760, I would say go back to Bitcoin. If we look at it against US dollar, usually a move like this about, yeah. You're not, again, you know, we're not crashing in dollar terms. So you're not losing a ton of money. You're just better off in Bitcoin. That's all. So when you see a chart that looks horrendous against Bitcoin like this, check it against the US dollar. You'll see that you're not losing a load of money, but you may as well be in Bitcoin and capture the gains. Doge. Let's see what Doge is up to. Link looks great against everything. No, Doge is another one. No. When we said when you reverse at an 886 fib, so I'm going to zoom out here in Doge. Okay, from this low to this high, so it's just like Bitcoin. When you reverse at an 886 fib, which we did here, then your resistance or the confirmation of the reversal is getting above the 786. And here in Doge, we couldn't do it. And we couldn't get above the 200 moving average either. So Doge Bitcoin, still in a bit of a, you know, our moving averages are flat now and coming together, binding up. So I would say if you're holding Doge, get out, get into Bitcoin and wait for this to bunch up and give us another setup, you know, that will give us another go at this resistance. It may be that we do a whole nother leg lower or we retest the lows or a big double bottom and you don't really want to be, you might as well be in Bitcoin. If we take it Doge US dollar, or Doge Tether. Again, it's not drastic. You're not losing tons of money. We're just pretty sideways and then, you know, we've had a bullish reversal and we look all right, but you just, Doge is all right, but you're better off in Bitcoin. And this high, okay, so when you're in a downtrend, you make lower lows and lower highs, okay? That's your downtrend. And to reverse that trend, you need to take out this high so that we can start making higher highs. And that's where we've stalled here. And when we look left, we can see actually that was quite a big deal level because it was this high as well. Okay, so stalled at resistance, potentially, because we've got a bullish cross of our daily moving averages and tether, we could see a nice pullback to these and maybe make an inverted head and shoulders pattern. But at the moment in Doge, I'm going to say better off in Bitcoin. Okay, if we look at Nano, I feel bad for the guys in the group because I know there were ones you looked at. Don't worry, we will get to everything. I'm not sure where these have come from. Hold on. So let's take a look at Nano. It's getting its lunch eaten by Bitcoin here, but this is support. So, you know, we've drawn our fibs. 236 was resistance, and resistance becomes support. So if Nano, let's move this up, is going to keep going higher, we'll put our fibs back where they should be here. And on this high, if Nano is going to keep going higher, this place where we're right now, where we are at sort of 978, 980, is where we should look for a bullish reversal. In terms of daily candlesticks, whenever I've seen one like this before, they've always been bullish. So let's see if that's going to work. This is right on the support. The moment the price action doesn't say anything like buy me in Nano, does it? But one thing about levels when you've got support and resistance levels like this is, you know, if we've broken. So if you're long already of Nano, Bitcoin, if we get underneath this level and it becomes resistance, then we know that's the party over. At the moment, we're just testing it as support. Let's see. This is, if we're going to bounce, this is where we're going to do it. So Nano US dollar, you're probably not losing any money this one either. Let's look at Nano Tether. No, not really. A very shallow pullback to today in this one. And again, just really attempting a base. Good level to do it as well. So consolidating, this is for me like no man's land in between these daily moving averages. And you see how this 50 moving average has been resistance before. We really do need to now break out of this consolidation to the upside if we're going to go anywhere. When I put my on here, do you see how the 50%, so from this high to this low, see how the 50% was resistance? With this buy setup here, which looks very nice, especially with these bunched up moving averages. I love a setup with bunched up moving averages like this. If you buy a little, you've really got to break that 50% level at 8542, and then it should fly. So a close above 8542 is really what you want in Nano Tether if it's going to go up. So yeah, it's holding up Nano against US dollar. We'll go back to Nano Bitcoin. So right on support, it's really important it bounces here. Otherwise, it's not the end of the world, but you're just better off in Bitcoin. Okay, POA. I don't think I have a chart ready for POA. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, here's POA. This is a lovely look, isn't it? Bullish cross of our daily moving averages. Pull back to them. Now, we had a really nasty run, a spike in this one. I'm of the view that spikes very often get retested, especially with our daily 200 moving average up here. So I'm really looking forward for this to break higher and get going. So let's take a look on the 4 hour. From this low to the high, this is a 61.8 pullback. And so we're in the golden ratio zone. So where market kind of finds balance and decides the bulls and the bears fight it out between the 61.8 and 38.2. So this is where our support is at 201 and our resistance is at 252. So 200 and 250 above 250, we're bullish. And we're going to look for a retest of this spike high and hopefully new highs. And if we drop back below 200, that's us better off in Bitcoin. So we could almost as well look at this as a little channel here, couldn't we? Say we don't want to break the bottom of this. I think in Bitcoin what we're seeing is a proper squeeze of the shorts, you know. This is God, Bitcoin's really going for it, isn't it? Nice moves. Okay, so remember 8297, and there's a lot of, look at these previous lows and highs here. This is our next resistance. We're looking at Binance prices. But this should work in all of the exchanges. If we look at these lows and highs, you can see that this is not just a fib level and 50% back, but major support and resistance level in Bitcoin. So watch and see what happens there. Okay. PHP. Now, the reason we were looking, so yeah, POA consolidating. Now, this is a pretty tight range, isn't it, with Bitcoin and POA? So if Bitcoin is going up, that should mean that we're going up in POA US dollar. It's not compelling yet, is it? I hate this bitty chart. Okay, let's go look at PHP next. Red Pulse Phoenix pulled all the way back to the daily 50 moving average. Further than I wanted, I must admit. But if we're going to do it, this is where we're going to do it. This is where we did it before when we pulled back to, and here we are again. Our confirmation that we're broken higher in PHP against Bitcoin, which we are, by the way, outperforming against, will be above this high and above the daily 20 moving average. So sort of above 82, 83. Where's that? 81 is the daily 20 moving average, in fact. So that's our breakout level. Oh, look, that's the hourly 200 as well. So sideways range above 81. I think we can get excited. For now, though, we're toe-to-toe with Bitcoin. So if you've got some, then the value of your PHP is going up by the same amount as Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going up. Don't believe me? Let's take a look at the US dollar. Or we can't chart this one, can we? No. So if your coin is flat against Bitcoin and Bitcoin is going up in value, you should be making money. So PHP, I do like it, but I'd like it much better above 81. Okay. Next one is DOC. We're still going to do Monday night, you know. We'll just 27. Is this the DOC you mean? D-O-C-K, or was there a D-O-K? Yeah, must be in DOC. Okay, it's this one. Okay, here we are. When I look at this on the daily, I love this. Look how the 200 moving average was resistance, 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 and now we're holding above it and it's support. I'm looking for us to turn higher from here. DOC is outperforming Bitcoin. I think this is a lovely long against this 200 moving average, and I'm looking for a retest of the 236 fib up here as first target. So that's 199, and if we can break above it, we've got this lovely inverted head and shoulders pattern. I'm looking for these previous highs and the 50% as my target at 370. In between, we've got resistance at 294. So 370 target, 294 resistance, and 199 resistance. But yeah, love it. So have we got an entry here tonight? It's not quite compelling. We could do a bit more sideways, couldn't we? It's getting a little bit hurt by Bitcoin, but not much, you know. This is sideways, toe to toe with Bitcoin. So yes, I like DOC a lot. Wait for this to reset. Wait for this little bull flag to trigger. This is a little hourly bull flag here. Like this. So wait for this little flag to trigger, and that's your long entry, and that's your target in DOC. Matic. Lovely look in Matic. This is Matic Bitcoin. So again, outperforming Bitcoin. Got a slightly lower high. What we've got now here is a really nice inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we're holding above hourly moving average. So it's a little hourly setup, but yeah, anything that looks this good as we stopped here. Let me see. I hope this chart hasn't. Let's see. This might be an old chart. I don't know. this page hasn't reloaded. 1 second. Ugh. Oh yeah, thank you TradingView for not updating. Okay, there was our head and shoulders pattern. Look, it got failed there. Okay, so Matic, I'm going to go to the daily on Matic because I really do, whilst we hold above this 20 moving average and we're in sideways consolidation, I do like this. This is a pullback in an uptrend. Our 20 and our 50 moving averages started to pull apart, and so this is a bullish look. However, there's a couple of things we have to check. Did we just make an ABC correction? It doesn't look like it. No, it looks like we've got room to go a little bit higher, so I'm going to say no, not an ABC correction. We're okay on that front. We could see another leg higher. Have we stalled at a really important fib level? If I zoom out here at Matic Bitcoin, yeah, 236 fib. So we need to pull back and find our feet before we can rally again, and then this will be resistance. So this 236 fib is what our problem is, and our support then is this 20 moving average. Now, while you're in a coin against Bitcoin, remember, if Bitcoin is rallying like mad, you're probably not losing money. And if we look at Matic, Tether, you can see that this looks really nice, doesn't it? Really nice. Just turning up higher again from the daily moving averages. So, yeah, Matic, Tether, I like a lot. Matic Bitcoin is kind of sideways in an uptrend. So, Matic, what's not to like? It's all good. So here on this, here's going to be our confirmation. So this looks like a lovely ABC correction, doesn't it, in Matic dollar. Look, perfect, equal measured move. So that's good, and we're holding on a retest. So our confirmation that we've turned and we're going up again is the 236 fib when you see a pattern like this. So yeah, back again above 1397. I think Matic looks lovely. But if we break the lows, then I'm wrong. That nice bullish pattern is gone. So we're going to look for this sideways range again. Break of this sideways range. That would be it. Okay, sorry it was such a long one tonight and so difficult to get going. No worries. It's not Monday. Yeah, no, it's not Monday. But tomorrow's Monday and I'll be back. See you then.